Well, the 32 turnovers, I mean, is that the biggest concern coming out of last night's game?
We didn't give ourselves a chance to have any success offensively because of our turnovers, and I really felt going into the game, the more we can force Syracuse to play 5-on-5 on offense, the more success we would have. And when we did play 5-on-5 against them, we were just fine. The problem is too many 1-on-0, 2-on-1s, 3-on-2s. They scored 30-plus points off of transition, almost half their points, and we're not going to beat teams turn the ball over 32 times. So everybody chipped in, so it's not like we can point our finger at one or two people. I figured that our rookie point guards, might be nervous, anxious, might make some rookie mistakes, but they were the least of my concerns. Last night it was a collective effort, but the good thing is nothing went right, so I think we can really put this game behind us and move forward.
Did you sense right away early that the younger guys especially, I know you mentioned in something that I read about how the kids were impressed by the size of the dome. Were they overly impressed by Syracuse, by the dome, and did that translate to nervousness?
Well, I think we were tentative, cautious, especially after we turned the ball over the first 4 or 5 possessions when, we sat in the locker room and talked all week in practice about making sure we get a shot every time down the floor. We don't play a lot of 2-3 zone. So we had a lot of success against the 2-3 in practice, but we can't simulate their length, and that 2-3 became more of a 2-2-1. They sat the big fella in front of the rim and brought the 2 wings up high to match up with our wings, and that gave us a lot of problems. We like to attack along the baseline. We couldn't get a good angle to get the ball to the baseline, and they did a good job trapping the baseline when we did. So, and when we took too many threes, number one, but I think our guys were anxious to get up a shot when they had some daylight, and we shot poorly overall as well. So 32 turnovers and shooting poorly is not helping the cause.
How do you think your players will respond to it, particularly the guys who have never played a Division I basketball game before? And that's their first taste of ball.
I think going into the Syracuse game, and especially early on, you need to rely on your veterans. So, I think our veterans need to allow the young kids to get their feet wet and to go in there and allow them to make mistakes. So our veterans need to be rock solid. I don't think our young kids, I don't think there's going to be a ton of carryover, especially the way we're going to approach it tomorrow. This game's behind us. We struggled. We've got a good opportunity in a home opener on Friday night against a very good team, an NCAA caliber team, and we've got to just regain our focus and deal with the task at hand, which is going to be Morgan State.
How much benefit do you think you'll get from the energy of the building being a home opener, and kind of pushing some of the younger guys a little bit to?
I think it'll be a good atmosphere. It is the home opener, and we talk to our guys all the time about how important it is to play well at home, to win at home, and I think we'll feel a whole lot better about ourselves if we can have 2 good days of practice on Wednesday and Thursday and give a good effort on Friday. And get a win. It's going to be a difficult game. I've been watching a lot of film today on Morgan State, and they're very good. They've got some good players returning from their NCAA team. They beat Maryland last year. They're very good. So our hands are full. It's a challenging schedule. It's one that I put together, and I like the schedule. I'm anxious to see how we respond, especially after how we played last night.
The next 2 practices, will you emphasize taking care of the ball any more than you usually would? Will you do anything in practice to address that?
We really wasn't an issue in either scrimmage too much, so we've been solid with it throughout the course of practice. But again, anytime you have that many turnovers, you want to make sure you discuss it, you talk about it, and hopefully it doesn't happen again. 32 turnovers, as bad as we were last year valuing the ball, we didn't come close to approaching 32 turnovers. So I'd like to think it was one heck of a bad night by us collectively, and we'll be fine. Morgan State plays a lot of man-to-man. I'm sure they watched that game, and You know, their secondary defense is a 2-3. Wouldn't surprise me if we see the 2-3 early, just so Morgan State will say, hey, have they made any adjustments? Are they going to respond? And it's not so much the 2-3, it's the guys that are in the 2-3. And when you're 6'8", 6'9", 6'9" along the back line and very aggressive up top, that's a huge difference. We don't have, you know, we don't turn the ball over against zones, you know, too much in America East Conference play. You know, we get shots. It was just a matter of making them. We turned the ball over against Syracuse. A lot of it had to do with their length and us being tentative.
Well, I mean, 21 turnovers that you forced, is that, you know, is that at least that's something positive, a little bit of aggressiveness there that that you can build on with some of the younger guys?
Some of it was us. Some of it was them. The game was really ugly, especially early on. You know, we did some good things defensively when we played them 5-on-5. Some good things, yes, that we can build on. But, you know, right now it's just a matter of us really forgetting about that game and moving forward.
Only 10 points in the paint, but do you think you'll have more success on Friday when you're not facing Onawaku and Jackson every time you win the paint?
I'm not overly concerned about you know, the paint right now. We had success in our 2 scrimmages, feeding the ball inside. You know, Fran early, you know, had scored. He was our leading scorer probably in our 2 scrimmages, scoring and getting fouled. He tweaked his ankle early in that game. He's on crutches today, so I don't know where we're at with him. He will not practice. Definitely won't practice tomorrow, and probably not on Friday. So he hurt his ankle early on. I'm not sure if he didn't tweak his ankle how much of a difference it would have made against that front line. But we've been throwing the ball inside during practice and in our scrimmages. We've had success with it. We've got to get Will Harris more touches down there as well, but he's not getting them down there against Syracuse's 2-3 zone, but he should be able to get them against teams like Morgan State and American.
You will have a game under your belt. Morgan State won't. Does that help you, do you think?
Well, they have some good experience. You know, anytime you go to the NCAA tournament again, just like we needed to rely on our veterans, they're going to rely on your experienced guys, I'm sure. You know, I'm sure they'll, you know, they'll be very well prepared. They've got a good coach, an experienced coach, and you know they're the favorite to win the MEAC. So I think they're going to play with a lot of energy and emotion. And if they come in here and it's a packed house, there's no better way to get your season started by beating a team on their home floor in front of a packed house. And we've got to make sure we don't let that happen.